Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC. First off, I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody, and also while you're here, if you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave us some feedback in the comment section below. Okay, so let's jump into what we were looking at previously. So there was a few things we're looking at. We're looking at the potential this wave 2 had completed, or we were still within this move and we had a more complex correction here to the upside. I'm going to go over these moves shortly. So basically what we were looking at is there was a potential that we could be looking for this direct sell-off. And the way we were looking at this is slightly, well, it would have to slightly change now because effectively we've come back up here and crossed this high point. So what that would mean is that this can't progress as a 5-wave move down from here anymore. And for the most part, like I was talking about previously, the structure within this isn't great. And yeah, and unless we start to take out some of these lows like this 16,256 area, I would say that we actually don't have this going on, because now because we've come up here, it's invalidated this wave 2 position as we were looking at it as a potential breakout. So I actually think that we have something else going on here. And for the moment, my most likely count is this one here, where actually what we could have done is actually we've set this B wave low here, with this as an A wave. All of this to the downside here has been a B wave. And if I actually remove this 5-wave move, there we go. What we can see is that we've had this very corrective move happening here. For the most part, this move to the downside has so much overlap that it's very tricky to try and count it as a diagonal or anything like that. So for the moment, I'm just looking at it as a corrective pattern. Though should we break down below this 256 zone, 16,256 zone, effectively what we could be looking for is a much deeper move to the downside, which would be that 3rd wave that we were looking at previously. Until we do manage to break down past this zone, though, this whole move would actually still look better if we had the C wave leg to the upside. So this could be a C wave, or it could be a Y wave. But if it is in a wave 2 position, we'd more than likely expect it to be a zigzag. So we'd be looking for that additional move to the upside of this A wave here in the C wave. So looking for evidence of a 5-wave move. So now when we're talking about that, if I throw this back on here, there is a small potential that we could be looking for this break to the upside here, where we can look at this move here as a 1. This is a wave 2, which actually came down and hit. Well, it didn't quite hit it. This is the 0.618, this 16,461. And we've actually come down and we've hit this zone here, 14,670. 16,470 to the penny. So this could actually be a low point here. Alternatively, this wave 2 might also not be completed yet. And what I mean by that is we could get something like this. We get this as an ABC. Then we actually form an additional leg to the upside here as a B wave, so an ABC. If we're looking at this, there's 2 things that we would be looking for. I'm going to actually just measure from this low point onto this high point onto this low point here. And we can see that that 1-to-1 line is here. I'm just going to mark that up with this line. So that's a 1-to-1. If this C wave decides to travel 100% of this wave A, this would be the typical area it would look to hit. If I throw this on from this low point, just drag this over here, we can see we've also moved up to the 0.382. And a move up towards the C point, if we have this C wave to the upside, might look to take us back into this zone of the 0.618 to the 786. If we do face rejection from there again, what we might have is, like I said, maybe this wave 2 or B wave is not completed yet, and what we would actually be looking for is potentially a move back up to this 0.618, and then to look for that move to the downside again. So this is something that is just possible, And if we did move up to that 0.618, effectively what we would be looking at here is the potential to actually extend this down slightly, and looking to target out lower down in this box here. I'm going to just change the color to green, support box. So what we could be looking for is actually looking to push down one more time within this before looking for a push to the upside, which could look to take us somewhere between the 16,405 to the 16,381 zone potentially, if this decides to travel at a 1-to-1 ratio. And that would be something that we just need to keep an eye out, that we could see this come down further. However, should we fail to break down like this, and should we actually come up and take this high point of this white wave 1 here, so the 16,677, should we start to move up past that, then it is actually possible that we are either within a 5-wave move, which is what we are currently looking for to complete that C wave. Or alternatively, what we could actually just have here is this is an A, we've come down in a B, and then we look to target out this 1-to-1 area here, which is 16,815. So it is possible that we could either see a zigzag to the upside here, which would actually make me think that we are still within this bigger corrective move here then, and we might look to push down some more, or this is going to develop to the upside, like we said, as a 3-wave move, a WXY pattern, and then we would be looking for an additional leg to the downside here in a A, B, and a C, and then effectively all of this would become a bigger A, B, and a C to the upside. It's still early days, and unfortunately the market's a bit choppy and hard to read at the moment, so we just need to be careful. If we do actually start to break down and we take out these lows of 16,333 and the 16,256, it is possible that actually we start to sell off into that 3rd wave option, that direct sell-off option that we were looking at, and yeah, effectively that would be looking to take us down much lower. This would make the move very neat if we had this push back to the upside here, because then this would just change this whole move here, like I said before, into an A, B, and a C, which would actually tie in quite nicely with the rest of the structure, and then that last move to the downside would be would actually just be neater. So that's what we're looking for. If we do decide to have that direct sell-off, if I just quickly change this over here, let's put it onto this 5-wave move down. If we do fail to break back above these high points, and actually our wave 2 did complete here, what we'd be looking for confirmation wise is a move down towards this 13,909. That would actually indicate that we have had this 3rd wave. That's a typical area this 3rd wave would look to travel. Then we'd be looking for that 4th wave bounce, and then that drop back down to the downside, looking to target out towards this 13,664 to this 13,277 range. Obviously, we would have to monitor this move as it progresses if it did start to break down, because then sometimes we can have an extension within these waves and it might look to push down further than that. But this is a typical 3rd wave area. So we'll keep an eye on these moves and keep you up to date as best we can. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. And if you did find the content useful, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback down in the comment section down below. You know, anything, whether that's coin requests or whether you just want to comment on something within the video, something you liked, something you didn't like, whatever it is, we're always happy to hear from you guys. Okay, with all that said and done, I hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and we will see each other in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.